in-depth analysis, and you also gave some brief as to what is being said about or by the Shiva, you have been talking about the procurement infrastructure and investment of procurement. Despite your in-depth analysis, nobody seems to be talking about the production side, how the farmers are suffering. What is their plan in future to cater to the demand? Niti Aayog is saying we will be producing 230 million metric ton by the end of 2030 or by 2030. But are they talking as per current scenario, coming year scenario, or their past experience? The current scenario is a little scary. To my estimate, the demand will be 200 million metric ton, which we will be finding it difficult to cater as per the NDDB figure of 177 million metric ton production today. You need to have more number of people coming into the farming, or more number of lead production per animal has to come out, or we have to go for consolidation, or we have to have the government support. This is a little big area to think about. How we are going to get this additional 23 million metric ton in next 10 years to come? Very easy solution. I was talking to one of the ministers. Will increase the number of animals. But is that the solution? Or are we going to think about getting more milk from the less animals? Because human population is exploding. 2030, I think we are going to be the largest population of all the countries in the world. India is going to have the largest population. And then we increase the cattle population also. Where do we find a little land to move around, to build our houses? So the solution is get more milk from less. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. So my question was, or two points to ponder was, can the earth take load of more cattle population along with increase in human population? Of course, no. The second point to think about is the crossbred population is growing by 27%, and the indigenous breed is going less by 6%. This is despite the effort of the government to push the indigenous breeds, because the farmer's choice is very clear. They like to go for something more with little expenditure or little investment. So we were talking about, because I have been given a subject to speak on the genetics. The role of genetics is in growing productivity. And if you have better genetics to select from, you get early maturity of the offsprings. They come to production early. The intercalving interval for those offsprings tomorrow is going to be reduced. They fall less thick, and the milk is better in quality and higher in quantity. And this is possible only through genetics. I can quote example. I think Shiva was talking about the low procurement price, high production cost also. I'll give you two examples. Punjab, with a cost is almost 18 to 20 rupees for the organized dairy farms which are using good genetics. Where the cost of production has gone 32 rupees or maybe 35 rupees. In some cases in Telangana, I was hearing from one of the farmers. They are using the best practices for nutrition, management. They have very huge farms. Their barn is worth seeing. But the only thing they have not done is selection of good genetics. And when the cost of production goes high and the cost of procurement, the price of procurement goes down, then think of this situation, how we are going to catch to the demand of milk requirement tomorrow. Difficult situation. We are in a precarious situation wherein the producers, the dairy farmers, they say their farm gate is narrated. Should they stay in the business? And the consumer, they say, hey, every 6 months there is an increase in the MRP in the milk. So how do we cater? Today we may be having good amount of SMP with us, but think of tomorrow when this SMP cost goes high to import, and if you start importing, then the remaining dairy industry will also go out. So we need to go for superior genetics, which can give you better calves to produce more with the less number. Another scenario I was thinking about, it is very clearly established here that the farmer's choice in India is to go for crossbred or exotic breed. But which breed in the exotic breed? Internationally, we are seeing that Jersey is a breed which we need to watch for. Internationally, or if I quote example of USA, the Jersey is growing by 6% every year, and Holstein, the most popular breed in USA, is going negative because they find that Jersey is the one breed which is very friendly. It doesn't create a lot of nuisance on the farm. It occupies less space. The space is becoming a big challenge now. How to accommodate the number of animals I have in my farm? They are disease resistant. They are having higher fat content. Feed conversion ratio is much better, and they consume less feed and water. Water is going to be another problem for us in dairy farming, and everywhere the farmers they are being asked question that how much water you are consuming and how can you reduce the intake of water in your farm. So that's a big challenge which can be answered by Jersey animals only. So I see a big future with Jersey animals. Incidentally, in India so far, we have not concentrated on Jersey. We have gone more for Holstein Friesian, but the timing is coming. I know many farmers in Punjab again. A friend of mine, Daljit Singh, who is president for PDFA, he used to be all-out fan of only Holstein. But I was surprised to see the other day when I went to his farm that he has over 100 Jersey animals in his farm. And when I asked him question, how this shift came, he said, because I have to earn money. And I find that Jersey is giving me more money in comparison to Holstein. So this is one breed which you have to watch for by 2030. My forecast or my estimate for 2030 is that the milk demand is going to increase manifold. Because in any country where the income level is high, it is witnessed that the demand more of the milk and milk product. So in India also, we are growing and we need to have more liters of milk per day. Dairy farming is going to be highly profitable because I see not only domestic demand, once it becomes affordable, our cost of production is low and the consumer price goes down, then more number of people will be demanding more liters of milk. But also the neighboring countries, if you go to SAARC countries and see, they are buying almost 60 to 80% of their local requirement from European countries. So here's the point, if we produce quality milk, we can cater to the neighboring countries also, because logistically it will be much easier for them to procure from India. Then there is a value for genetics. Earlier I used to ask the farmers, hey, where did you use your semen from? Or which breed or which type of animal you have used semen from? They used to say, no, I don't know anything. I got my cow pregnant and that's all. But now, thanks to Punjab, that the farmers in India, they have started understanding the value of genetics and they are trying to go for better and better genetics available in the country. Backyard farming is going to be drastically diminished because either you are organized dairy farmer or you are not. The old-fashioned farming of having a cow or two is not going to be existing in next 10 years to come. Number of cows, like many advanced dairy countries, will be reduced because the animals will be producing more with better genetics, and the farmer's choice will of course move towards crossbred and exotic cows no more indigenous breed for any professional dairy farmers. This is what I feel is for 2030 coming up. Thank you very much.